You're listening to The Lyndia Grant Show. Think on these things with Lyndia Grant.
Well, good evening, Radio 1 listeners. It's good to be here with you this afternoon. So happy to have you. We're going to be talking to Sister Dr. Jenna today. Dr. Julianne Malvo is not available today. She's moving. So I am going to be talking to Sister Jenna. It's just the two of us, and I'm so happy to be with you today. How are you today, Dr. Sister Jenna?
I'm always better when I hear you, Lyndia Grant, and I'm glad that it's just the two of us.
I know you are. God worked that thing out for us. I had you come back again. Yes. And I didn't realize that Sister Dr. Julianne Malvo wouldn't be available until just this moment. So it's just working out just perfectly.
Well, one of the things I love about these times is that everything is so unpredictable, and it's teaching us to go with the flow and just be present.
Yes, indeed.
To be really present now, because that's the only way God wants us.
Yes, it is. So I am so glad I'm here. I'm ready. And so it's just the two of us. So Sister Jenna, since it is just the two of us, let us go into a little meditation just to get us started. You can do it your way, however you want to do it, and then I can introduce you later. We're not going to even worry about that right now. We're just going to set the tone.
Exactly. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you might be. Good morning, maybe on the other side of the world. But here we are coming together on Lyndia Grant Show, talking about deep truths. And one of the most important practices that it's been in the hearts of many right now is meditation, contemplation, introspection, prayer. And what I'd like us to do is to perhaps ponder on a thought like, what would I be like if I decided or I chose to just break the interpretation that I hold when I hear my name, when I look at my gender, the color of my skin, interpret what my religion means, the language that I speak, the way that I dress, the country I belong to. What if I decided to really transform, convert my interpretation to all these labels and allow the original energy of the soul to emerge and for me to feel like a child of God and just to be at peace with myself? So let us take this moment and increase our currency of peace. It's so needed right now. I need it. You need it. The world needs a little bit more peace. So I bring that energy down to be of greater service to the whole. Take a deep breath in and breathe out all of your tension. Breathe in and breathe out. Thank you for asking me to do that, Lyndia. I needed that today.
Oh, I did too, Sister Jenna. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. All right, now we can get started. I'm telling you, we need to just calm down and just get away from everything that's been going on for the day, away from our busy schedules, and get a chance to take a deep breath. So I am just so pleased today to have with me for my whole show. Sister Dr. Jenna. We are going to be talking to her about her new book. It's called Meditation, Intimate Experiences with the Divine Through Contemplated Practices. As an acclaimed, trusted spiritual mentor, she is committed to bridging divides in societies and building relationships between global influencers. She has impacted lives around the globe, inspiring change and finding solutions to current-day crises. As the founder and director of the Brahma Kumaris Meditation Museum, located in the metropolitan Washington, D.C. area. Sister Dr. Jenna is also the host of the popular America Meditating radio show, and she is a recipient of the President's Lifetime National Community Service Award. She is a member of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, and she was selected by Empower a Billion Women in 2020 as one of 100 most influential leaders of 2015. Dr. Jenna's voice of influence is particularly needed in the wake of tragedy and increasing violence in our world. Her website is www.meditationmuseum.org and www.americameditating.org. All right, so we're going to go now to talking with Sister Jenna and ask her just to give us her opening comments to talk about her new book. And we're going to talk to her for part one, and we're going to go to our commercial break and come back and continue to talk to her. So, Sister Jenna, go ahead and talk to us today.
Mm-hmm. You know, to do a book on meditation is something that I resisted very much. And when the publishers had approached me to do the book, my first response or reaction was no, I wasn't interested. And she circled back around Lyndia and everyone who's listening, and she somehow just convinced me to just think about sharing the experiences that I have carried throughout my 30 years of being on the path of contemplative practices. And I could also invite many friends to join me and share their stories, like my wonderful friend, Reverend Sylvia Sumter of Unity of Washington, D.C., and Dr. Kanu Kogod, you know, whose family was of the Kogod America School of Business. So we have a lot of beautiful voices in the book that actually just invited the conversation on, you know, mysticism and those aha moments or those moments of deep realization that shifted the way you saw yourself and the world around you. So the whole book has this very magical vibration, and that's what I keep hearing from everyone, that when you read each story in the book from one of the 37 co-authors, something in you shifts, and you can sense that something is happening in you, for you, and to you. You know, Lyndia, we've known each other for such a long time, and I've often said you're such a wonderful spirit, and you've done your work from your heart. And life continues. You know, you go through ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you always end up in a quiet moment, a pause. And that pause invites you to feel the essence of who you are. And I think that we're now at that moment, post-pandemic, whatever that means, that I think we're looking for ways in how to integrate and incorporate pauses during our busy schedules. And, you know, hopefully the book, but hopefully just your own conscience, your own energy in you, it's calling you to reflect and to go inwards and to pull power from above. And I think many of us are feeling that. And if we don't feel it, I don't know what's going on with you, but I think we're feeling that desire to just pause for a little.
Yes. I just want to thank you for having Pat Canada and me out for your birthday celebration. We were there a few weeks ago, and I am just so excited about being at your environment out in Virginia. Tell the people about that.
Well, we were in McLean for quite a number of years, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get the property that we were living in for 14 years. And I guess it was universal, or it was destiny, or whatever. But we actually ended up having to relocate last year in a really wonderful space that we call home, and we call it Om Shanti Village. And it just has this energy of spiritual peace, love, space, light, happiness, benevolence, abundance. And I think for everyone who has come here, they have felt something very sacred and special on the inside. It's a healing place. Didn't you feel happy when you were here?
I did. Yes, indeed. I sure did. It was so nice. So many rooms. Tell the people about it. It's so wonderful.
It's wonderful. It's just, it's a space. It's just got the space that you really need to settle into and to feel yourself as a soul. I think because we have so many distractions and so many responsibilities that we might be missing the experience of our essence of who we are. And when I look at, I don't know about your listeners, and I know how mature and wise they are. They've been with you for so long. But you really look at the world right now. And on one level, there's the energy of a decline, where people are becoming more impatient. Their selfishness is amplifying. The fear is amplifying. The manipulation, or, all for yourself, that vibration is just everywhere. And you don't feel the sense of trust. Even in your marriage, you don't feel the sense of trust. Even if you've lived with your spouse for 15, 10, 20 years, this energy is in the air. And then on the other side, there are folks like you and your listeners and individuals who are choosing not to go down that path where I allow everything in the outside world to affect my inner kingdom. And I can tell you as my own experience that whenever I leave Om Shanti Village and maybe I go out to the mall or I go to the airport, I can feel the difference of the energies. And I can see that there are two energies existing. One that is really feeding ego and fear and anger and frustration and anxiety. And I can feel within my spirit that I'm carrying the energy of peace wherever I go. And whenever I look at other people, I feel like I wish everyone was walking with that energy of peace, so that that energy can remove all of that vibration. Sometimes I see haste. Sometimes there's anger at the airport because of the flights and the situation. Sometimes just looking at the face, sometimes it's just some confusion, And I want everyone to feel like God is here now and He wants to remove that,
Sister Jenna, we're going to get ready to go to a commercial break. And then when we come back from our commercial break, we're going to go deeper into this discussion. We're listening to the Lyndia Grant Show. I'm talking to Sister Dr. Jenna from the Brahma Kumari. She's going to be talking to us about her new book entitled Meditation. Back in a moment.
If it wasn't for my care coach at AmeriHealth, I probably wouldn't be so healthy right now. As a man, we don't get checkups or see a doctor regularly anyways. It's probably just a man thing because none of my partners go either. We know we should, but we just don't, and hope it works out.
So what changed for you?
AmeriHealth assigned me a care coach, somebody that gives one-on-one help, answer questions, explain things, and help set my appointments. She also helped me understand what having high blood pressure really means and ways to manage it so it doesn't kill me. It ain't nothing to play with. If you're a member of AmeriHealth, ask for a care coach. I'm glad I got mine.
At AmeriHealth, if you need a care coach, you can have one. Just call us at 1-877-759-6224 to get connected. 1-877-759-6224. This program is funded in part by the government of the District of Columbia Department of Healthcare Finance. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
This is Frank Smith with the African American Civil War Museum in Washington, D.C., located at 1925 Vermont Avenue Northwest on the Green Line. Did you know that a recent study found that children who visit museums do better in school and in life than children who do not? So parents, teachers, and preachers, let's get moving. I promise you, if you bring your children to the African American Civil War Museum, they will be inspired by the images that they see. They will be impressed by our living history reenactors who are always available, and they will be involved in our scavenger hunt that takes them throughout our exhibit. That's the African American Civil War Museum, 1925 Vermont Avenue. Our hours are 10 to 6:30 on weekdays, 12 to 4 on Saturdays and Sundays. See it. Be inspired.
Washington and former religion columnist Lyndia Grant.
Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a segregated Montgomery bus. In lectures on brotherhood, Miss Parks often said, "People always say that I didn't give up my seat because I was tired." But that wasn't true. I was not tired physically. I was not old. I was 42. No, the only tired I was tired of giving in. Driven out of Montgomery by harassment and death threats, Detroit, Michigan became her new home. Rosa Parks will always be remembered as the mother of the civil rights movement. Raised in the AME church, she once said, "I remember finding such comfort and peace while reading the Bible."
Read more in the religion column of the Washington Informer, an award-winning African-American newspaper. We don't report crime or gossip, just positive news. Pick up the Washington Informer or visit us online at washingtoninformer.com. Call 202-561-4100 for more information.
You're listening to the Lyndia Grant Show. We're talking to Sister Dr. Jenna. She is from the Brahma Kumaris. She is an acclaimed, trusted spiritual mentor, and she's committed to bridging divides in societies and building relationships between global influencers. I like to let people know that she has traveled to more than 80 countries around the world. And I often tell Sister Jenna, I wish I could just be hidden away in her suitcase. That's how I want to joke. I said, I want to go too. And
you know what? I'll tell you, Lyndia, I think one of the biggest things that we should do is invest in traveling around the world to learn more about different cultures, and by observing and interacting with different cultures, there's a deep sense of yourself that you come home to.
Yes. I want to go so much. So I want you to think about how you can invite me to travel with you on one of your trips that you're going to go when you go abroad. And let me know in advance so I can get ready and make plans. And I'm telling you, I just love what you all are doing around the world.
Oh my goodness. You're too kind. You know, just recently, I've been, last year and a half or 2 years ago, I had what's called a health crisis, but I called it a health opportunity. And as a result of enduring what was, something that was very serious, my blessings from all of my friends and just being very proactive, I was able to really overcome it pretty fast, even though it's a very long process. And then recently I was interviewing founder of a new healthcare supplement called Viome. And he was telling me about how his mother was so sick, and, you know, he has the money. He's a billionaire. So he felt like, I want to invent something that will end diseases and bring people to optimum health. And I got really curious because I had just gone through my own little health opportunity. But it was something about his passion, Naveen Jain. And I just ended up researching, and I said, well, I want this. I want to try this for me because I know that our health and well-being is really being attacked by the food that we're putting in our body. And if we can just learn about it, we could be healthy. So I'm completely a big supporter of the Viome health care system that's online. And I'm happy to say I just recently became an ambassador because I really love the supplements and the program so much. So a lot's changing for me, Lyndia. Meditation, physical health and well-being, dealing with my mother with dementia, relocating in a new property within the year, dealing with this pandemic, closing our meditation museums and just opening them up now. You know, so many things, but because of the meditation, we just stay solid and stay focused on what's important, my peace of mind, my currency of peace.
Yes, indeed. I'm telling you. So say hi to your mom for us. We are just so pleased with her. I was glad to see her when we were there. And I saw how she traveled with you around the world. I don't know if she'll be able to go again, but she was there this time.
Yeah, I just took her from India. She went to India with me just last month, and even though her dementia is quite progressive, she kept asking me, Jen, please take me to India, take me there. I want to go home. I want to go. So we took her and we spent a month, and she came back really much better than how she was before she went.
Is that right? That is so good. Yeah, see, so that was a blessing for her to have that trip.
I think so. And for anyone out there who is dealing with a parent with dementia, I have to tell you, you learn so much about the person that you've become. And even though I have an extremely full life, and my friends have often marveled at how do you manage, you know, because taking care of a parent isn't easy in terms of the amount of emotional need and physical need and all of that. And I was, at one point at the beginning, it was really challenging because I wasn't as thoughtful as I'm used to being, because now this situation was beyond me. And I saw how I fell into an energy that I was not, and I did not want to be this energy. And the moment I accepted that I was blessed to be taking care of my mother and that I am learning about who I've become, it changed everything for me. Now, needless to say, this is not about if she was a good mother or a bad mother. I can't answer that. It doesn't matter. She's my mother, and I'm responsible, and I'm going to do the best that I can.
That's right. And you do. You certainly do. And that is what's so wonderful. And I have seen your mom before she started having dementia, and I just admired how she always loved to dance, and she was always so happy. And when you went to your birthday celebration at the Watergate a couple of years ago, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And I think she had just started to going through her dementia at that time. And so it's progressed now because it's been a couple of years because of COVID. And we didn't get to celebrate with you last year. So I just know that it's sort of like a time capsule almost. She's just been kind of there and going through the motions, and you have had to experience it. Sister Jenna is on her show every day, 365 days a year. If you go to YouTube, Facebook Live. You can see Sister Jenna. She can tell people how they can find you, because we're almost out of time.
Just Google Sister Jenna, everyone. And one of the things I've loved about Lyndia is she raises you up. She will tell the whole world about how good you are and all the stuff that you're doing to make the world better, because that's just who she is. She wants to raise everyone up. And I know that even Julian not joining us today was all destined, that we were just supposed to have a heart-to-heart conversation.
Yes.
And, to just talk about life, and of course, if anybody wants to find me, just Google Sister Jenna, that's it. And, you'll be able to spot me in a minute. But I'd like to leave a message with everyone, and it's something that I'm also observing in my life right now. Pay attention. Pay attention to what you're feeling. And don't deny those feelings, but don't get stuck there either. And if you don't feel that, you're in the company of the divine or in the company of God, or feeling God's love or blessings or power on you, then go inside and find out where you're investing these thoughts and feelings. Because until you master the power of your pure thoughts or elevated thoughts, or you start to think about what's beneficial for your life in terms of emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, you've got to find that answer out for yourself. You've got to know what your spirit needs to be healthy, happy, and at peace. So what I'm asking everyone to do.
We got to close. Sister Jenna, she said I only got a minute. So we're going to have to close now. But thank you so much for tonight. We're closing now, Sister Jenna. Thank you so much. All right. We thank you for tuning. Thank you for tuning in to the Lyndia Grant Show. We invite you out to worship at my church at the All Nations Baptist Church. Tune in again next week. Words, thoughts, and deeds have a boomerang effect. So be careful what you send out. Scripture says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Think on these things from the Lyndia Grant Show. I'm your host, Lyndia Grant. Until next week, good day.